You're reading something valuable. You see an important sentence. Immediately, your chest tightens. Just a tiny panic. What if I forget this? So you capture it, highlight, save to Notion, screenshot, bookmark. One click, instant relief. Next page, another important sentence. Same panic. Capture, relief. By the end, you've marked 47 things as important. 2 days later, someone asks, "So, what did you learn?" Your mind goes completely blank. This isn't studying. It's a panic button. You're not building knowledge. You're managing anxiety in 1-second bursts. And your brain knows the difference.
Okay, hold on. Let me show you exactly what this looks like because it's painfully accurate. I'm reading something. I see something interesting. Immediate thought. Ooh, that's important. I can't lose this. I feel this little spike in my chest, like a mini panic. So I highlight it, or hit save to Notion, or screenshot it, whatever's fastest. And relief. Like I just rescued it from disappearing into the void.
And if you're already thinking, "I don't use highlighters anymore," let me see your Notion workspace. Your Watch Later playlist with 400 videos. Your browser with 73 tabs you're definitely going to read.
Okay. Ouch.
A highlighter is just an analog save button. In 2026, you can capture information in 0.3 seconds with basically zero friction, which makes the trap more deadly, not less.
But wait, if I don't capture it, I will forget it. That's just reality. So aren't I better off having it saved than losing it forever?
Are you, though? You highlighted 47 sentences last week. How many can you recall right now?
None. But at least I have them saved.
You have yellow marks saved. Digital notes you never open. Screenshots you never look at. Not understanding, not memory, just marks.
Okay, but that's different from what we talked about with perfect notes, right?
Different driver, same result. Perfect notes was input hoarding, spending hours building beautiful artifacts because it made you feel productive.
Yeah, all that color coding.
This is faster, more invisible. You're not trying to impress yourself. You're trying to calm the panic that you might lose something important.
So it's like the anxious cousin of input hoarding?
Perfect notes is approach motivation. I'm building mastery. Capturing is avoidance motivation. Don't let this escape. Same trap, different emotion. Way harder to detect because it takes 1 second and feels like nothing.
Oh no.
Welcome to the capture trap. Here's what happened. Your brain evolved to remember critical survival information. Which berries are poisonous, that kind of thing. When you encountered important information, your brain had to do the hard work of encoding it. No other option. But we kept making it easier to save things externally. Caveman remembering berries, forced deep encoding. Renaissance scholars hand-copying classical texts still required engagement. Students highlighting textbooks, passive capture begins. 2015, save to Evernote, 1 click. 2020, save to Notion with auto-tagging, 0.5 seconds. 2026, hey Claude, summarize this and save it. 0.3 seconds, almost zero friction. We made the capture button easier. The trap became deadlier.
So my brain is still designed to remember survival information. But now I have this anxiety off switch.
Exactly. Important information triggers. Don't lose this. And instead of encoding it deeply, you just press the off switch. Capture, relief, move on. Minimal processing, at best. Think about this like a slot machine. You pull the lever. That's reading something important. The anxiety spikes. The wheels are spinning. You hit save. The lever clicks. Item saved. Reward signal. Relief. You won. And you can feel this. Every time that chest tightens with, "I might lose this," that's you pulling the lever. The anxiety is the coin. The capture is the pull. The relief is the payout.
But I didn't actually win anything?
Your brain thinks you did. You resolved the anxiety. Mission accomplished. The slot machine never asks, "Did you understand it? Can you recall it? Did you integrate it?" It just rewards the capture.
So I get the reward before doing any actual learning?
That's why it's so addictive. All reward, zero work. And here's the cruel part. Because you feel that relief, that "I did something" sensation, you don't realize you're avoiding the real work. I need to confess something before I go any further. I looked at my Readwise account last month.
How many highlights?
4,200. across all my books and articles.
4,000?
I randomly opened some highlights from books I read 2 years ago. I couldn't remember reading the books at all. And while I was doing it, while I was highlighting those books, I felt so diligent, so responsible. Look at me capturing all this wisdom.
But you were just managing anxiety?
I was building a security blanket. Thousands of sentences I convinced myself I'd revisit. The highlights weren't learning tools. They were anxiety management tools that let me feel productive while learning nothing.
So, what's really happening when we do this?
Here's what nobody talks about. Every time you save something, highlight it, bookmark it, add it to Notion, you're making a micro-promise to future you. I'll come back to this. This is important. I'll process it later.
And I don't come back?
In my experience, and probably yours if you're honest, most of the time, no. The vast majority, never. I have 600 saved articles. I've read maybe 20. That's 97% broken promises. So what is your brain learning?
That when I mark something as important, it's actually not worth returning to?
Worse. You're teaching your brain, my own judgment doesn't matter. My intentions are meaningless. You said it was important, you saved it with intention, and then you ignored it. And here's the identity piece. You're not saving information because you'll use it. You're saving it to be the kind of person who would use it. It's a form of self-gaslighting.
I'm curating an identity instead of building knowledge?
Exactly. You're performing informed person to yourself, but your brain knows its performance.
Oh no. I'm breaking promises to myself. Thousands of them.
Every saved article you never read. Every highlighted sentence you never review. Every bookmarked video gathering digital dust. You're not just failing to learn. You're training yourself that what you mark as important isn't actually worth your attention.
I'm eroding my trust in my own judgment.
And your brain adapts. It stops taking your important markers seriously, which creates more anxiety, which makes you capture more, which breaks more promises.
That's devastating.
That's the real cost, not just you don't learn. You're teaching yourself that your own intentions are lies. And if you think highlighting is the only version of this trap, let me show you where else it's running.
Where?
Save to Notion. But your Notion workspace has 400 pages you've never revisited. Add to Readwise, auto-syncing highlights from every book you've touched, creating a database you never use. Ask ChatGPT to summarize, which feels productive but means you never engaged with the actual content.
Oh no.
Watch later playlist, pocket articles, Instapaper queue, email starred for follow-up. And here's the 2026 version that's the worst. Hey AI, read the article and save the key points to my second brain. You just outsourced learning to a machine. Zero anxiety, zero processing, perfect capture, absolutely zero understanding.
Wait, you're not saying second brain is bad?
Building a second brain is a solid system. But here's the trap. Most people only do step 1, capture. Because capture gives you the feeling of, I did something productive, without the work of the other steps. Organize, distill, express, create. And here's the thing. A library with no readers isn't a library, it's a warehouse.
So I'm collecting a second brain but never actually using it?
You're building a digital graveyard. Very organized, beautifully tagged, never visited. The tools got faster. The friction disappeared. The trap became invisible.
Wait. So every time I felt that panic and hit save,
you were training your brain to avoid discomfort instead of process information.
And every time I felt relief after capturing,
your brain was rewarding anxiety management, not learning.
So all those times I thought I was being responsible, saving things for later,
you were making promises to yourself you knew you wouldn't keep. Capturing is a lie we tell our future selves.
It's not just that I don't learn.
It's that you're teaching yourself your own judgment is meaningless.
Every saved article is a broken promise. Every highlight is fake intention.
And your brain learns. What I say is important, I'll ignore.
We're choosing to feel safe over becoming smart. The relief is instant. The cost is invisible.
Here's the complete pattern. Important information appears to anxiety spike. Don't lose this. To capture action. One click to relief burst. To brain does minimal processing. To shallow encoding at best. To information lost anyway. To self-trust eroded.
The thing I'm doing to prevent forgetting guarantees I'll forget
and teaches you that your intentions are lies.
That's the trap.
All right, let's make this visceral and actionable. Next time you're about to capture something, highlight, save, bookmark, screenshot. Pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I understand it, or because I'm panicking about losing it? But here's what really matters. Catch it physically before you capture. Try this right now. Think about reading something valuable without saving it anywhere. Did you feel that? That chest tightening? That urgency? I need to capture this before it's gone.
Yes, it's like a spike of panic.
That's your early warning system. That sensation arrives before your hand reaches for the save button. And watch what happens the moment you imagine capturing it.
Relief. The tension drops. You exhale.
But you didn't learn anything. You just managed anxiety. Here's your new rule, and it's going to feel brutal. Before you're allowed to capture anything, you must write one word. Why? Why is this important? Why does it matter? Why will future you care?
Just one word?
If you're too lazy to write that one word, you don't get to save it.
That's actually harsh.
That's actual learning. The friction is the point, because here's what happens. 90% of the time, you'll realize you can't articulate why it matters, which means it wasn't important. It was just triggering your save everything reflex. And when you find something genuinely important, instead of capturing it, close the source. Say one sentence out loud about what you just read, in your own words. If you can't explain it, you didn't understand it yet. Reread it. Don't capture it. If you can explain it, you don't need to save it. It's already encoding in your brain.
So the difficulty is the signal that I'm actually learning?
The anxiety doesn't mean you're forgetting. It means something's worth actually thinking about. The discomfort is the work. This week, here's your pattern spotting mission. Catch yourself pressing the anxiety off switch. The challenge. Track your capture impulses for 1 week. Not whether you act on them, just notice them. When you feel the urge to save something. Physical check. Where's the anxiety in your body? Chest, stomach, throat? Intention check. Am I saving this because I'll actually use it, or because I'm managing panic? Friction test. Can I write why in one sentence? If not, I don't save it.
And watch where else this pattern shows up. Hitting save to Notion without processing. Watch later playlist growing every day. Screenshotting quotes you never review. Asking AI to summarize without reading. 73 browser tabs you'll get to. Bookmarking tutorials you never do. Starring emails to follow up later.
Each one is the same. Anxiety spike to one-click capture, to false relief, to broken promise. Actually, let's do this right now. Grab your phone. Open your screenshots folder. Scroll back 3 months. Do you even know what these are? Can you remember why you captured them?
This is embarrassing.
That's your digital graveyard. Every screenshot is a broken promise you made to yourself. Tell us in the comments.
Where did you physically feel the capture trap? Chest tightening? Stomach knot?
What's your biggest digital graveyard? Notion? Watch later? Saved articles?
What happened when you tried the friction test? Could you actually articulate why?
How many micro-promises did you realize you've been breaking?
I'm genuinely scared to count my watch later videos.
I have 600 plus saved articles I will never read, and 4,200 Readwise highlights I'll never review.
Because the saving was the point?
The saving managed my anxiety. That's all my brain wanted. The relief was real. The learning was fake. The cost to self-trust was invisible.
Now at least we can feel it arriving.
And choose differently. Your 47 highlights, your 400 saved Notion pages, your endless digital collection. They weren't useless because you chose wrong things to save.
They were useless because they let you avoid the discomfort of actually thinking.
They weren't learning tools.
They were security blankets that gave you false relief while preventing real understanding.
And every time you captured without processing,
you taught your brain that your own judgment is meaningless.
Stop capturing to manage anxiety.
Start processing despite the discomfort.
The panic doesn't mean you're forgetting.
It means something's worth actually understanding.
And if you're building a second brain,
make sure you're not just building a warehouse of broken intentions. That's where learning lives. That's where self-trust rebuilds.
And to be clear, I'm not anti-notes. Smart note systems like Zettelkasten work because they force you to rewrite in your own words, not just copy-paste. That's processing, not capturing. Huge difference.
So it's not about avoiding tools.
It's about using tools to think, not to avoid thinking.